Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video I'm going to be going over the maze project where we are going to be using Onshape to create a maze pattern that will then be incorporated into a portable game. We're going to be using both the laser and the 3D printers in order to make this work. And when you do this, we're going to stick to one of two shapes. We can either do a maze in a circle or a maze in a square. So what I did is I already created a new document. I titled it 6. My first name, last initial, and maze. You put whatever period you're in. Okay. And I'm going to make a sketch on the top plane. So if I go sketch, top plane, I always like to go top down. We're essentially only going to have 3 sketches. So the first one is we're going to title it walls. And because I'm doing a circle maze first, I'm going to make a circle locked into the origin, and I'm going to make that 4 inches. And then I'm just going to move this dimension out of our way so we have a little bit of room to work. Now the tool that we're going to learn how to use in this project is the offset tool. So the offset tool is right here. Kind of looks like an oven mitt. So as you see, it says, if you hover over top of it, it says create a copy of the selected sketch entity at a specific distance and direction from the origin. So if I hit offset, I'm going to click on what I want to offset. And right now, as you can see, the arrow is pointing out and there's a number. So right now, it's going to make a circle bigger than what I just made at 0.2 inches. And that's not what we want. Right? We want them to go in the opposite direction. So I either could take this arrow and I could drag it in and it could make that way. Or I could type in whatever number I want. And we're going to start out with 0.1 for our first wall. And I'm going to hit enter. And you can see it just kind of stays there until I click. Right? Or what I can do is if I go to offset and it's on the outside, well then if I want to go inside, just make it negative 0.1. Okay? So what we're going to do is we are going, stay in the same sketch, we're going to make a bunch of walls. And these are going to be like the basis for our project. And we're going to do so using the offset tool. So what we got to do though is this essentially, this ring here is going to be one set of walls. And we're going to keep doing them towards the center of the circle. But our walls are going to be 0.1 thick, but the gap between, right, kind of like the gates where the ball is going to go, is going to be 0.2 away. So what you got to do is for the pretty much alternating it. So for the other one, right, we're going to make it 0.2 and actually negative 0.2 because I didn't change the arrow. And now you can see there's a little bit more of a space. So now I'm going to click on this one. And it's already going the right direction. And we're going to go 0.1 now. And it didn't change it, so make it negative 0.1. So as you can see, these two are one wall. There's a 0.2 gap, and there's another wall. So we're just going to keep doing this, and we're going to offset every single time. And if you mess up, no big deal. Control Z it. Click the wrong thing. 1. Negative 0.2. Here again. Negative 0.1. Negative 0.2. Negative 0.1. Negative 0.2. Negative 0.1. And essentially, you want to make sure there are 7 walls. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got to do this one more time. Negative 0.2. And then so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should be good to go there. And I'm going to then confirm my sketch. And then we have to extrude it. So we're going to call it walls. And we're going to extrude the 0.1 thick walls. Okay. And then we are going to make sure that we make them 0.2 tall and confirm it. Now when I do, you're going to see that there are 7 parts over here, right? Every single ring is a different color. And that's okay for now, but we're going to fix that. So once you have that, right, now we have to make our gates, aka like the hole between all of our rings, right? So we're going to sketch, and we're going to click on the top plane of the outside one, right? So what we're going to do, we'll call these gates, and then we're actually going to use a different rectangle. So we've pretty much been using the corner rectangle for now. We're actually going to use the aligned rectangle, but all that lets us do is that just lets us make a rectangle that can be on an angle. Now, I don't care how long these rectangles are. I really only care about how wide they are, right? So when you first make this, I can put my mouse over top of either dimension, and then once it's here, I can click. Ooh. I'll show you again. Hover over top of which one, and then I can just start typing 0.2, and then it'll make it 0.2 gap, right? I don't really care how far up and down it is, right? So now I'll just make another one over here. Hover over there, 0.2. And you're going to do this all around until you have a gate going through every single one. Now, it's going to be based upon your brainstorming sketch, so you're not just randomly doing this. I am. But when you make these, right, you don't want to attach perfectly from here to here, right? You want to just go over what you need. Make it longer than what you need, because that dimension doesn't really count. We're just worried about the left and the right. Again, should be 0.2. Here, let's see, we'll go back here. And then when you get to the end, you got to be careful. You don't want to take off only a little bit in a weird angle. So I kind of sort of really like to just take almost like an entire half off, a little bit less than half, right? Roughly like that. So now I have a ton of gates, and again, these should be spaced out a little bit better. You should have some all over, and this should be a part of your brainstorm, but for what my purpose is to show you, no big deal. Confirm it. Then I can go to extrude, and instead of, I could select each one of these, the middle, select each one, and then remove them. Or I could just select this gate sketch, and I'll select everything related to the gates. And since we're just removing it, blind through all, they're going to be yelling at me, right? They're going to be red because they're cut out of each and every part. So if you hit merge with all and make sure you rename it gates, and now when I confirm it, it'll cut out all of your gates, which is exactly what we want. And now for the last sketch, we're going to go and we're actually going to use the top plane now. And we're just essentially going to be making walls to cut off the ball from going into the center, right? Because ideally, it's going to enter here, and we're going to go through the maze and have it enter there. That's where it ends, right? So now when we make these blocks, actually we're going to call them blocks, excuse me. Okay, we can use the align rectangle. All you're going to do is you're going to make same thing what we just did, except instead of 0.2, right, they're going to be 0.1. And those are going to be all of our walls. And you're going to put those wherever they need to be so you can block off your path to make the maze much more difficult. And I'm just doing this very quickly for us. Just so you kind of get the idea. And you can slowly see this take shape. Alright, so once I'm done, I'm going to confirm my sketch. Go to extrude. Click on all the blocks, because that's the ones that I want to use. Now, because we're going to actually add these, right? This is going to be three-dimensional. We're going to hit add, merge with all, That way they're going to be all in the same part, and then we're only going to extrude them up the 0.2. Confirm it, and now you can see that we only have one part, and we have our maze. Again, this isn't very good because I did it super fast for you, but I wanted to show you how we go from 7 parts into 1. And now that I'm finished, I'm going to right-click Rename. You can call it Maze. We're going to rename my part studio. And I would do my drawing, which I'm not going to show you how to do after I edit the appearance. Right, by now, we know how to do our drawing. It's just right-click, create drawing, do your 3 views, and make sure you label the length, width, and depth of every single side. Alright, hope that helps. See you in the next video.